Hello everyone, we're back with another Review or Die podcast with me, RyzorGick, and Toby.
Hello again. They've kept me on
Yes.
somehow.
You were so good. Anyway, last time we talked about the Best Picture nominations, or ones that we also would prefer to have seen nominated. Today we're moving on to Best Animated first. Should we do that?
Let's do it. Yeah,
Okay.
if we run through animated, family film, and foreign film.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Great, cool.
So the one that's on my mind first when animated is going to be the Lego Movie.
I think it's on everybody's mind. How it wasn't nominated as well?
Was it not nominated?
It wasn't nominated. That is criminal.
Oh, to being honest, when I heard this one, I was like, okay, this is gonna be shit. To be honest, that was how I was feeling about it. But I went and saw it anyway, and what I got was not anywhere what I expected. The first 2 acts of the film, I had great fun just watching stuff happen in front of my eyes, just complete nonsense happening.
Oh, it is nonsense.
There's nonsense, but there's structure to it, but there is nonsense.
And there's plenty of depth to it as well.
There is.
It must be
When
said.
you get to the 3rd act, I find that's when the depth hits in. Once again, I don't want to spoil anything too much.
Yeah. Well, I think there's depth within the first 2 as well. You know, they're needlessly consuming overly priced coffee as they, lounge around in their pants, and it's like, well, this is a shattering indictment of capitalism in a Lego movie. How is this possible? But obviously, the fun supersedes that, and it's not.
Also, come on, it's made of Lego.
Oh, of course.
Who doesn't like Lego?
Yeah, what is not to
But
like?
what I want to know is, when do we get the Meccano film? And the Connects.
Connects. I was thinking, what was it called in my head? I was
Connects,
going, what was it? Beat me to it.
That would be my pick. I'm pretty sure.
For best animated.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'd agree, 100%.
Is there any others? Because I know there's one you've seen I haven't.
Lego Movie as your sort of classic animated film for me, it works because it's subversive, it's funny.
There's
it's
some
very
stuff for adults
self-aware.
as well. That's the thing that's becoming apparent in later years, anyway. That since Shrek, pretty much, there's always something for the adults.
Yeah, there's some nice adult jokes in there as well. Which
And again, I think the deeper parts of the third actually were for the adults, or our age anyway.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
it's like, so that's the subversive bit where
So I will say,
we were taken out of one world, and it was like, wow.
I will say that
incredible.
that film tugged my heartstrings more than Toy Story 3 did.
Oh, yeah.
And now anyone who's not seen the Lego movies going, oh really?
Yeah, well, I'm going over it. I might have seen it.
Yeah, because of, without ruining anything for anyone, the speech that's given to the bad guy, to me, was just, got me right there.
It's good.
Yeah.
I can see why. It's there's depth there. It's emotional as well.
Yeah.
So I'll not wholly agree with with that, but I will go along with it.
Okay.
For the sake of the podcast and moving things along.
So moving on, there's one animated film which I know you've seen, which I can't believe I haven't, which is obviously The Wind Rises, because I'm a big fan of anime and Japanese, culture, to be honest, in general.
It is criminal that you haven't seen it as well.
And I was one of the first people, I'm pretty sure, in this country to see some of the other ones, and yet this one I just don't know why.
I'm not sure how it's escaped you.
You saw the cinema.
I did sit at the cinema. It is phenomenal. The Wind Rises is, for me, Studio Ghibli's ultimate masterpiece.
That is one huge thing to say, because for me, still at the minute, it's, for the fantasy element, it's going to be Howl's Moving Castle. For the true-to-life story films, it's going to be Grave of the Fireflies, which is a very heartbreaking...
Both very good choices, though.
Which side does Wind Rises fall on? Is it fantasy or is it more real-life drama?
This is the thing for me. Studio Ghibli has sometimes been a little bit imbalanced in where it falls. Some things you've had to really suspend your disbelief to go with, and you have to put in legwork to escape, which it seems like a paradox to do that. But for me, I felt like I really have to go into this fantasy world, and I have to believe it, and I have to buy into a lot of the stuff. But this has a really delicate but beautiful balance of the fantasy, as you say, and the real life story and reality, and it captures it so well. It's just it's moving, it's heart wrenching. The animation, I mean, as ever, is sumptuous. It's
It's
beautiful,
always beautiful, I think.
but you need to see it. It's
I'm probably next time in town. I'm gonna go buy it because it's one of those ones I have to own. And
Do
I'm
it.
feeling ashamed that I haven't seen it. Actually no, didn't even see the one before it. Up on Poppy Hill or something like that.
Oh, I
It came out of nowhere, that one.
I've heard of it,
But
I didn't realise
I
that was
didn't
that
even.
recent.
It was the one before. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure.
right.
Wind Rises. I don't even mean about the whole spelling disbelief as well, because I know a lot of the things in the Studio Ghibli films are to Japanese people at least. They're aware of the references,
Mm.
but for Western audiences, we don't understand. Like the radish spirit in Spirited Away.
Mm.
That probably made a lot of people go like, "What?"
Well, I was one of them.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm not completely aware of what the meaning is behind it. But I know radishes do appear a lot in Japanese things, including anime and non-animated films.
There's something going on
There's
there.
something with those radishes.
I think it's safe for me to say there's no radishes in The Wind Rises. So
How do you know? Anyway, is there any other animated films which you think should win or should be in the list for
I
top?
think, seeing as we want to talk about family, we could partially talk about Paddington here.
See, I'm aware of this Paddington as the cartoon that was back in years ago, and also wasn't there some sort of toy animated Paddington thing years ago? Well, I made that up.
I don't know, actually. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think there was. It was really weirdly. I swear everything was drawing apart from him. I might be right, maybe. Like the humans were like drawn, maybe, and he was a little toy.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm not sure. Anyway, what's
we're
the actual
digressing.
film? What's the film about?
The film is a modern retelling of Paddington. There's this. It's from the director of The Mighty Boosh, actually, and
Oh my god!
The Bunny and the Bull.
Really?
Really, yeah. And you would be thinking like, okay, is this going to be this?
So he gets
surreal-
high and gets into a jazz club. Is that?
Yeah, is this going to be the surrealist Paddington? But aside from a really cracking scene at the start, a really, really funny scene where they retell Paddington's backstory as this bear who's producing marmalade in the forests with his family. It's so funny.
You're sounding like Noel Fielding from Mighty Boosh right now, like telling one of his stories in the show.
Yeah, that's not what I was aiming for, but I'll go with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I thought it was very funny. But this is brilliant. This is a really, really fun film for all the family. I loved it. I thought it was cute. Paddington, the voice work from Ben Whishaw on Paddington is it's tender, it's cute, it's sweet, it's serene, it's just everything. You just want to, every moment he's on screen, you just want to cuddle him. So it's great. I loved it.
Well, I'm probably going to see it. I mean, I'm the person who owns Alvin and the Chipmunks on DVD, so I'm sure I'm going to see Paddington.
Oh, somebody bought it then. That was you.
No, it wasn't me. Someone bought it for me. But
That old chestnut.
yeah, that one. I fall back on that quite
No,
a lot.
the thing is with Paddington, it does stick to this quite classical family narrative, and the structure of classic kids films. You've got this sort of typically, Propian villain, the hero, the unlikely hero is Paddington, and that's fine because it plays to its strengths and it works. So go and see it by all means.
Is it still in cinemas, or is this a while ago?
I
now?
think it's past its time in cinema now.
Oh, it's
but,
DVD for me then.
Get it on DVD
Looks
or
like it.
Blu-ray.
But speaking of family films, I think one of them for me, because I do like family films quite a lot. Maleficent.
You like Maleficent?
Maleficent actually was one of those films where people go, "Oh, what are you doing that week?" I go, "Oh, I'm going to see Maleficent." Why? Because I've been waiting years for this film. That's why. Sleeping Beauty is actually my favourite of the classic Disney films, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And the idea of there being a film just about the evil witch Maleficent sold me. And as soon as I saw that first trailer, I'm pretty sure you saw the trailer.
Yes, yeah. I've seen the trailer. I've seen the film.
You've seen the film?
So,
Oh, you
yeah,
have
yeah.
seen the film. Angelina Jolie did it so well. The laugh from that one scene that is word for word like from the original Disney film just made it for me. The only downside, once again, and I said this in the last episode, was the ending. Because I wanted that, despite Maleficent being somehow not the evil character because she was wrong, to put it that way, I wanted her to still be the villain. I wanted her to still do evil things. because she was justified. So why do we need her to be the hero now?
Well, I didn't like Maleficent.
You didn't like it?
Oh, look at that face.
Oh my god, you kept that one secret.
Yeah, I didn't like it. You are right. I think Angelina Jolie is fantastic.
And whoever it was that played the Crow guy, I don't know his name at all. I quite liked him.
Sam Riley, I think it is.
Is it? Okay.
Who plays him, yeah. But I think it's a rehash of a classic. I think it's come a little bit too late in the sense that we've already had these sort of postmodern, self-aware, retelling of beautiful classic fairy tales. We've had Enchanted, and I know this is going down a more darker, slightly more cynical
Well, for
route.
me, it didn't actually go dark enough, to be honest. It started off going that way and then didn't go far enough.
Yeah, it does develop at him, which is strange because you're right, it does start in a very dark manner.
Well, the scene where she's wronged, to me, was actually a rape scene.
Oh, God.
I'm saying that right here now. There's a scene, I don't feel like I'm spoiling too much here.
This is a family...
Basically, it's a family film, I know, that's the thing. But Maleficent's wings get stolen from her thing. She gets drugged and then she gets her wings cut off.
Yeah, and this is right at the start. So
yeah, so I'm not spoiling anything. But the scene when she wakes up and realizes this happened to me is similarly done as in the scene after a rape scene in the film. The way she wakes up, the way she moves, her reactions, to me, that is just what it screams.
Critically, you could envisage it and interpret it in that way.
So that's when it was really dark for me. But then as the film goes on, she becomes the hero. And
well, this is the thing. And before you said that, I meant that Angelina Jolie, it started really dark and menacing, and as you say, she got quite, she's okay.
Yeah.
And the film, instead of going into this sort of dark, murky labyrinth, it came out all smelling of roses.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like, but yet we know you from another fairy tale, and culturally and historically as being the baddie. And it's great, two sides to every story, but it is trying to play with cultural history, and I don't think it's got enough nous to be able to do that.
No, I don't think so either. Anyway, moving on from Maleficent, I think I've spent enough time on Maleficent.
Yeah, no, I wasn't a fan of it.
But I will say that I saw it at the cinema, and that's one film I saw at the cinema this year, and I will be getting that on Blu-ray, no doubt. One thing that does worry me though is that when I first saw Maleficent come out, I was like, yes, finally, a villain I wanted to see a film of, we're getting it. But now they're doing more, aren't they?
Well, this is the thing, yeah.
Because now I wonder, was it not a creative decision, just we're going to get more films out of films we've already made?
And
which is a sad
partially
part.
A reason, again, why I didn't like it in the wider context. But, if the film industry wants to move in that direction...
We can't stop it, really, can we?
Can't. No, we're just sat here. So there you go. Best family film, though, has to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
I am so happy and yet so surprised that you brought up a Marvel film. I really am.
Well, it is a surprise, and obviously these podcasts are very new, but you will know now that I'm not a big, superhero Marvel fan, but this. It really does endear itself to everyone, It's got the humour in it. It's really, really funny. And you don't have to be into comic books, really, to get the premise or the jokes.
You don't even actually need to have seen any of the previous Marvel films.
I didn't think so, no.
There's nothing that really ties it in with the rest of them. It's one of the standalone films, I think.
Yeah, and it works so well. These characters are all... oddballs and zany, and they come together to form this really eccentric, strange collective, but they're so endearing, and you love them because they're a little bit idiotic, they're a little bit stupid, they've got flaws, but that's great. That's what we want to see, and I think kids will buy into it, and I think adults will really buy into it. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the story, just again, it's self-aware in this classical, sense of this current age, but it doesn't, make a big point of it.
No.
So
It's fun sci-fi.
it's fun sci-fi predominant. It's fun sci-fi first before being
A comic book film and everything else.
a self-aware comic book film. So that's why I liked it.
Well, that's a very good reason to like it. But to be honest, it was one of those ones when I heard it was coming out, I was like, because I'm a big comic book fan. There's boxes upon boxes behind me right as I speak are full of comics, and I do read Guardians of the Galaxy. Heard this one's coming out, I was thinking, this isn't going to be the one they get wrong, is it? This can't be. And it didn't. It was. I can't wait to see those characters back in the Marvel Universe. And actually we got some more story on Thanos for a change, which is quite nice. I'm interested, what was your favourite character?
In Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah. Mine was Drax.
Everyone likes
Groot,
don't they? And I loved him, I've got to say, but I'm a fan of Rocket.
I knew you'd say Rocket. I think who was it?
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper did a great job.
His voice
Rocket.
performance is so good. It's, the sense of timing, the sense of he's just got a real naughty, cheeky edge to him, and he just doesn't give a damn about anybody, and it's so funny. And the fact that this is a raccoon.
Yeah,
it's excellent.
The reason I like Drax though is got to be because my sci-fi I like it to be humanoid, but you can definitely see where there's differences, and because Drax has no concept of irony or sarcasm, and every line that's said with sarcasm, he's just like, why would you do that? It's just sells it for
brilliant.
me. Yeah, I'm not sure who it was who played Drax actually, but he definitely wins it for me.
Yeah, he's a great character. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about a tree, a raccoon,
and a green man,
yeah,
and a green woman. No, red man and green woman.
And if you'd said, these are going to make a great film,
yeah,
I would have. Well, I don't know what I would have done. Probably something very, very silly.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, that makes for a very, very fun film.
And for the, I think for another family one, I'll bring up The Hobbit, the final chapter in the second trilogy from Tolkien's work by Peter Jackson. For me, right, I don't think it was ever going to be as good as Lord of the Rings, to me, personally, because Lord of the Rings was an epic book made into an epic film. The Hobbit was a small book made into an epic film. So they had to add a lot, they had to just stick stuff in everywhere, they had to add characters. I'm not complaining about that, but it just didn't feel as grand to me as Lord of the Rings did. I know you're not a big fan, are you, of Lord of the Rings?
I'm not a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
Did you even see the Hobbit films?
And I haven't seen the Hobbit films.
Have you seen the Lord of the Rings films?
Yeah, I've seen all three of Lord of the Rings, yeah.
I'm pretty sure at some point you probably will watch the Hobbit, won't you? At some point. Maybe later in...
Potentially.
They're worth a watch.
I'm not rushing out to go and see them.
I will say what I did like though was it's kind of a bit not vain to say it, I'm not sure what the word is, but the scene I loved in The Hobbit, the third one, Battle of the Five Armies, was just to see the character Galadriel finally get to kick some ass. Because we know she's got power, but we've never been able to see it till now. And just to see these two wizards and an elf warrior just to not be able to handle things, and suddenly she walks out and everything's fine. So I quite liked that, to be honest.
A nice strong woman.
And
always good to see.
I don't think this is going to be the last Tolkien film we're going to see. There's no way they're going to let it die. I don't think. Do you really?
I don't know. I mean,
if Peter Jackson,
I don't know where they can go with it. If I'm being honest,
there are other books. I mean, they don't connect to Bilbo at all. But there's the Silmarillion, which is an epic fantasy set in the same world. So why not make a film or 3 films, no less, out of that? And I'd see it. I'm going to go see it because they've sold it to me with the others so far. So I don't see why not.
Well, why not?
Exactly.
No, yeah. I mean, I will see it. I will get around to doing it at some stage. I just don't know when.
The only request I've got for Peter Jackson is, next time you make a trilogy, can we have the extended editions in cinemas and not have to wait another year for them out on DVD? Please.
If you're listening, Peter.
Yeah. Peter! Anyway.
Let's move to foreign films very quickly. Obviously, again, I'm aware of time. So we might have to wrap this relatively quickly, although I know you haven't actually seen
I've
a great deal of the choices that we've made in our notes.
Yeah, I've seen foreign films this year, but I just couldn't remember whether they were this year or previous. I do watch a lot of films late. Yeah. But the one I did think of was La Belle et la Bête, which, as most people probably will know, is Beauty and the Beast. But it's the Vincent Cassel Beauty and the Beast.
Now, I'm a big fan of Vincent Cassel. What is he like in this?
Amazing.
In a word.
In a word, amazing. Don't expect the Disney story. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen the French version.
You've not seen it?
No,
I'm going
no,
to
I
have to give
haven't.
it to you to watch then.
Yeah.
Don't expect the Disney version, but expect a bloody good film. You know the main story. There's a beautiful girl. She gets somehow wounding up in this castle, which has a beast in it, which is also Vincent Cassel. Who are anyway. However, I have to bring up a dark side to the film. The problem a lot of people had with the Disney film was that she suddenly falls in love with her kidnapper. It's kind of justified. In this version, it happens even quicker.
Oh,
There's a scene where she's running away and wants to do whatever she can to go see her family again. 10 minutes later, she's trying to save his life.
that is an extreme case of Stockholm
But
syndrome.
but I kind of think it was just because everyone knows the story, so they're not going to waste time. But I still would have liked a bit more, a bit
So
more to it.
is the film tonally dark, or
Yes,
is it
it's definitely not for children, I would say.
right? Okay.
Because the beast is portrayed as more like a lion that just will savage anything, I guess, in his way. And because it's based on the actual original story rather than the Disney interpretation. So, of course, being when it was written, there's a lot more darkness to it. And you actually get to see what the prince or what the beast was like as a human. And he wasn't necessarily a nice person either. It's Vincent Cassel, what do you expect?
Wow. Okay.
So,
Well,
what about you, foreign films?
yes. There are 3 that are up for best foreign film at the Oscars.
I've not
I'd
seen
like
any
to-
of them.
Well, there are more than 3, but the 3 I'm going to pick out because they seem to be getting the most press are Ida or Ida.
Give us a brief plot with that one.
Essentially, it's about a nun, a Polish nun, who tries to reconnect and find her mother, who was killed in World War II Germany. So she manages to get the help of her auntie, who she tracks down, and they basically go on this road trip to connect through the time they've missed out on together. That both have a sense of loss, of course, and the auntie is an alcoholic actually in it, so it's got these darkly funny moments. I wasn't a massive lover of it, I'm not going to lie.
No.
I know everyone thinks it's the best one, the cream of the crop, the one to win, the one to beat this year. I didn't particularly love it. I think the cinematography is gorgeous, the way it's shot, but I didn't feel that the eponymous character gave us enough to go on in her performance,
Right.
because she's not silent, she's reserved, and you're really struggling to connect with her emotionally. I was, and I never thought I'd say that about a film that dealt with loss in such a core way. So for me, it's good. I think some people may find it a little bit frustrating. I found it a little bit frustrating.
That problem, would you put that down to writing or the actress?
That's a very good question.
I know.
It could be a combination of both.
Yeah?
I
Okay.
feel there are certain scenes where they try and tell it visually, which is great, and that's definitely the way films should be. But sometimes you need something to go on. You need a little bit of a helping hand, and I couldn't get anything from it. So it's probably a combination of the two. A film where the performances are strong across the board, however, it should be said, is the entry from Georgia, which is a film called Tangerines, which is
Tangerines.
a lovely little anti-war comedy. Set
Comedy?
Yeah, it's. I never thought I'd say anti-war comedy, but it is, and it's really, really cute. You've got so much empathy there, and pathos to such a high extreme. These characters all basically live on these tangerine farms in this village in Georgia / Russia, and conflict breaks out, and it's a case of do they want to move, or will they stay and battle on? And when they rescue 2 opposing soldiers who both get wounded in their on their tangerine farm, and they house them, and it's like they've got so much opposition, yet they come together through realizing what a very silly and very very harsh lesson they've had in terms of living in a war zone. So it's a nice little take on it. I enjoyed it. I don't think it'll win in the category because I think it's too short and sweet.
Right. Okay.
Overall, it's got a lovely message, big themes, good performances, and like I say, lots of pathos, particularly towards the end. So I think people will like it. Maybe they won't love it.
I'll have to add both of those to my watch list then, I think.
It'd be good to see what you feel on both of those.
Yeah, well, I'll come back in a later
What do you feel
episode
about
and
both
we
of
can discuss again, because you never know, might get an opposing view again or something.
Before we depart, I simply have to mention Leviathan.
Right,
Which
see, this is one on my list already.
This is the best foreign film of the year. It's one of the best films of the year. It's this darkly humorous, savage attack on a corrupt Russia, both politically, emotionally. It's incredible. It's a brave film because Russia have actually nominated it as their entry to the Academy Awards. But yet it's got such a searing level of criticism towards the country that has produced the film, which is remarkable.
I've not heard that since the Serbian film.
Oh, don't bring it up, please. But there's one scene where they shoot. They've got picture frames of former presidents, and they start shooting them with this shotgun.
That's very brave.
And then they start downing copious amounts of vodka just to drown their sorrows. So it's really a really brave, really courageous film. And the great beauty of it is that there's this whole moral dilemma like intertwined throughout every character and every little narrative strand. Someone is doing something of a corrupt sort of way, whether it's emotionally corrupt, morally corrupt, politically corrupt. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the title relates to Leviathan, which is obviously this great, huge, colossal sea beast, and that gets washed up on the beaches in this small town, and it acts like a huge metaphor for the whole of Russia, just losing its identity, losing its soul, literally dying, whilst this main structure still survives. It's absolutely breathtaking, mesmerising, and brilliant. You have to see it, and I'm so glad
I just decided to pre-order it on Amazon.
I'm so glad I got that in there on time as well.
Yeah, we are out of time, I fear. So we'll have to carry on next time with, I believe, she'll move on to maybe top favourite, or should be awarded best actor and actress next time, maybe.
That sounds good to me.
So look forward to that. Once again, remember to comment, subscribe, like, give us some hints of what you want us to discuss maybe in future episodes. Let us know if you've got opposing views to both of us, one of us, whatever. But from now, that's from me, Ryzer. Goodbye.
And from me, goodbye.
Ta-ta.